To build the 2022 World Cup, Qatar spent a record-breaking $300 billion. In just 12 years, they raised 7 new stadiums directly out of the barren desert. A country smaller than Connecticut, with virtually no pre-existing infrastructure, couldn't pull this off alone. To meet that 12-year deadline, they needed millions of hands. Nearly 2 million migrant workers arrived, mostly from South Asia and the Philippines. Overnight, they became almost the entire labor force of the country. The world's most expensive sporting spectacle was delivered exactly on time. But the foundation it was built upon carried a cost the broadcast cameras were never meant to capture. For years, Qatar maintained a highly specific, very firm number regarding worker deaths tied to World Cup construction. Exactly 40. Then, right before the tournament began, a World Cup official gave an interview and suddenly updated that number. He stated that somewhere between 400 and 500 workers had died. This chart compares that official count to the estimates from human rights organizations. When you factor in the workers building the broader infrastructure tied to the tournament, the roads, the hotels, the transit, those organizations put the true death toll in the thousands. This discrepancy of thousands of lives separates the official record from the reality on the ground, leaving a massive human cost hidden behind the tournament's logistics. To understand how this happened, you have to look at the legal framework governing these workers, called the kafala system. Under kafala, a worker's visa, their job status, and their legal right to exist in the country are entirely owned by their employer. This diagram outlines a financial trap. Over 90% of workers paid extortionate recruitment fees, starting employment deep in debt before even boarding a plane. Once grounded in Qatar, physical restrictions took hold. Employers routinely confiscated passports, making it illegal to leave or change jobs. Locked into this arrangement, laborers endured grueling shifts doing heavy construction in summer temperatures that regularly hit 122 degrees Fahrenheit. The kafala system functioned as an inescapable trap. By stripping laborers of their autonomy, it ensured the $300 billion project would proceed without the risk of workers walking away. The method used to hide the resulting death toll relied on a specific bureaucratic mechanism, the medical misclassification of fatalities. When workers died after prolonged, exhausting exposure to extreme heat, officials routinely labeled their passing as natural causes, or vague terms like cardiac failure. This visual shows how that classification creates a crucial legal loophole. Under Qatari law, only deaths officially categorized as work-related qualify a grieving family for financial compensation. While families were denied payouts, the World Cup generated a record $7.5 billion for FIFA. Human rights groups asked for a $440 million compensation fund. Despite massive global support, FIFA refused to commit. Only a tiny handful of contractors offered life insurance. By erasing the true cause of death on paper, the system successfully erased the financial liability for the organizations that profited the most. 6 months after the final whistle, investigations found that the workers who remained in the country were still suffering from rampant wage theft. The exploitation extended well into 2023, when 40 Filipino workers filed a lawsuit in the United States, detailing cramped living conditions and confiscated passports. Many of the laborers who eventually returned home are still crushed by the permanent debt they took on to get there. Meanwhile, the stadiums they built, designed for a month-long tournament, are already being dismantled. The globe simply moved on to the next host city, remembering the noise, the spectacle, and the football. The most expensive sporting spectacle in history was built by 2 million invisible people, whose true human cost the world still refuses to count.